Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Michael Maney begins now.
Good evening everyone. A racing industry participant has been left with extensive injuries after a workplace incident at the stables of leading harness trainer Ben Yole. After spending Christmas in hospital, he's back in Tasmania but set to receive limited financial help.
These chilling screams are an agonising listen for Jaron Urquhart. They're his own.
Like, I've had nightmares about it and everything. Like, I've woken up crying and stuff like that. It's just absolutely horrible. It's a horrible memory to have.
This voicemail's from the minutes after a brutal work injury. He'd been working at the stables of leading harness trainer Ben Yole for around 6 months. In December last year, Jaron was sitting on the boot of a car towing a horse float when it hit a bump.
I've come off the back of the car and went underneath the horse float. I got caught in between the wheel of the horse float and got dragged for so many metres.
He spent Christmas in Melbourne's Alfred Hospital, his tibia and fibia broken, ribs and pelvis fractured. Now back home, he faces an uncertain future, with months of recovery ahead of him and mounting medical bills.
I've got some of my independence back. Like, I'm able to walk around and do a few things for myself, but not half of what I used to be able to do.
Ben Yole's transitioned many of his employees to external labour hire company Complete Workforce Solutions. This was Jaron's first day employed by CWS. As such, he's only covered for the 5 hours worked.
Everything that I've had to endure, and it's not fair. It's not fair at all.
Ben Yole wished Jaron a speedy recovery. WorkSafe are currently investigating the incident.
Oh, look, we're always concerned whenever we see any injuries that happen at work. Racing is a high-risk injury. Horses in particular are large animals.
This follows a vehicle accident earlier last year where 4 young Yole stables workers were injured and 2 horses died. Neither Tas Racing nor the Office of Racing Integrity were managing the licence requirements to have workers' compensation. Nationally respected steward Ray Murray recently completed an investigation into allegations of race fixing and animal cruelty at the Yole stables, which have been strenuously denied by Ben Yole. The findings of the report are yet to be released. Ben Yole often has 2/3 of the runners at any given harness meet in Tasmania, but he hasn't entered any for this week's event in Scottsdale. Organisers put up an urgent call for more entrants, and now it's going to proceed. Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
The holiday season is done, but Tasmania Police have advised people not to be complacent on the state's roads. Since December 22, police have conducted more than 16,000 random breath tests, with 85 offences for drugs and 70 for drink driving. Almost 700 drivers have been nabbed for speeding and just over 30 caught on their mobile phones.
We will continue to be on Tasmanian roads, in rural areas, in the cities, and we will continue to target those driver behaviours.
If you're on our roads, you need to be aware of the Fatal 5 dangerous driving behaviours and you need to be acting safely.
Speeding, not wearing a seatbelt, drink and drug driving, inattention and fatigue will continue to be targeted by police. It follows 3 fatalities and 8 serious injuries during Operation Safe Arrival over the holiday period. 2 kayakers have been rescued after being reported missing on the South Esk River yesterday. The father-son pair were paddling from Longford to Hadspen but had not been seen since mid-afternoon. An air and ground search locating them on a small island near Mill Dam about 1:20 this morning. According to authorities, the pair were inexperienced kayakers, tipping several times before scrambling to safety. Tassie's coastal towns are feeling the love as families flock to catch some sun by the beach. 1 in 8 jobs here tourism related. It's a welcome boost to local economies.
It's summer and tourists have arrived to camp at Port Sorell. Most of those arriving for a break are from Tasmania, choosing the usually quiet beachside town as a place to unwind.
So we actually are all from Launceston and we came down for 2 nights, which is beautiful. We've been blessed with some lucky weather as well.
What do you like about it?
The weather, close to the beach, dog friendly.
Local businesses rely on the peak season to make it through the year. Port Sorell Caravan Park operator Faye Eves says at this time of the year the camping ground does a roaring trade.
We've got 170 powered and unpowered sites, so every one of those is full at the moment, and we will get 50, 60 phone calls every day, people wanting a site, which we don't have.
At the nearby Brewstone Cafe, business is booming, with visitation numbers the highest since the COVID pandemic.
This year it's a perfect storm almost, you could say, because the weather's been ideal, we've got supplies when we can get them, and yeah, we've got a lot of tourists coming back.
Even the local residents are happy to see the tourists.
Yeah, it's pretty quiet around here, 11 months of the year, and then you get to the end of December and January and it fills up plenty.
In the state's northeast at Bridport, it was a similar story. Holiday makers in their droves enjoying the summer.
Been beautiful the past few days. Very flat and very nice. Hopefully it stays this way for the rest of summer.
Just a lazy, beachside town. I love it. Get away from the busyness of Noosa.
Melinda Ogden, 7 Tasmania News.
More than 1,200 Tasmanians have taken advantage of the federal government's home guarantee scheme since it was expanded to include siblings and friends 6 months ago. Around 600 of those were around Hobart, 24 in the southeast and the rest up north. Federal Housing Minister Julie Collins says we can expect even more first homeowners later this year once the shared equity scheme kicks in.
What it means is they borrow less, their mortgage is less and their repayments are less because the government owns a proportion of that property.
Under the Help to Buy scheme, eligible buyers can purchase a property with a deposit as low as 2%. Traffic slowed on the Bass Highway at Sassafras today after a single vehicle incident. Traffic was diverted away from the scene with motorists asked to avoid the area. No serious injuries were recorded, but a female driver was taken to hospital. Lavender season is in full bloom with thousands of sightseers flocking to one of the state's most iconic colourful fields. The major summer drawcard living up to all its hype, with crowds deeming it the place to be.
Picture perfect purple, the iconic Bristow lavender estate proving to be an Instagrammer's dream.
Very beautiful. I find the lavender a beautiful contrast in the blue skies. It's really a perfect day for it. Definitely Gram-worthy, I think.
From the perfect family shot destined for the mantelpiece to capturing enough memories to last a lifetime.
Probably 150 to 200. That's what I'm expecting.
Keen snappers making the most of the sea of purple. A day out amongst the rows of lavender, the top of many tourist Tasmanian summer wish list.
It's really beautiful. I'm liking it.
Definitely one of the highlights. Yeah, definitely worth a visit.
Those who found themselves melting under the sun turned to the crowd favourite ice cream van.
Magnificent. Mine's strawberry and lavender. Oh, it is so warm today. What a beautiful day to be just seeing the fields.
This season is already shaping up to be one of the farm's busiest in years.
It's something for everyone. The flowers have been significantly better than history. They're just saturation and marvellous.
Whilst harvest is about to begin, there's still plenty of time to add a trip among these purple fields to your summer travel plans.
We've got reasons for people to visit daily. The fields will always be photogenic. It's just a question of choosing your angle.
A purple patch ready to go viral. Victoria Easto, 7 Tasmania News.
Grab a picnic blanket and some nibbles because Shakespeare is returning to the Royal Botanical Gardens this weekend. It's featuring an all-Tasmanian cast and crew, classic quotes and a gender-bending plotline.
Rain, hail or shine, the show must go on.
In her person, I say I will not have you.
As You Like It, presented how John X likes it.
For me, it almost has a cult sort of following. For me, look very hands-on. You have the added element of not only doing a great show, but you're doing it outside in the elements.
A pastoral play set predominantly outdoors. It doesn't get more outdoorsy than the Royal Tasmanian Botanical Gardens. Lead actors Lucinda Smith and Griffin McLaughlin think so too.
Because so much of the play is about nature and kind of how transformative and special spending time in nature can be, I think we're really lucky to have that here in Tasmania.
The pair and the rest of the cast handpicked by award-winning director Roger Hodgman.
A good production always has an ensemble of actors that get on well together and have the same goals, and we've got that here.
Written more than 400 years ago, As You Like It has certainly stood the test of time. And while the story has been retold for centuries, this time there's a Tassie twist.
I mean, we don't want to give too much away, and Roger Hodgman, he's got some very good sort of tricks up his sleeve.
As You Like It opens this Friday at the Botanical Gardens. Tickets are available on the Theatre Royal website. Madeline Kerr, 7 Tasmania News.
The Cane Train is hitting the road again, jetting off to Melbourne, Brisbane, then Adelaide for 3 straight away games in the BBL. Coach Jeff Vaughan remaining confident in his side's abilities, while breakout star Nikhil Chowdhury is proving to be a talented all-rounder.
He knows this format very well. He hits the ball to different parts of the ground, reads the game situations incredibly well.
Pretty grateful for the opportunity. It was a big nervous moment for me when I went into the stadium, but everything went well till now, so I'm pretty keen on the future games.
The Hurricanes play the Renegades at Marvel Stadium tomorrow night. After a gruelling 7 days, 19 hours, 26 minutes and 15 seconds at sea, the last Sydney-Hobart yacht has crossed the finishing line. The tale of this year's fleet, Ollie the Cat and his 2 crewmates on board Sylph 6 made their way up the River Derwent this morning. After quickly emerging as the crowd favourite, Ollie is basking in his newly found celebrity status, believed to be the second feline to take part in the Blue Water Classic.
Good evening. Thunderstorms were seen over many locations in the north today, with minimal rainfall recorded across the state. Hobart 23, much warmer in the north, Launceston 32, Devonport 27, Burnie 26. Further across the state, Luncheon Hill 28, 27 for Lowhead, Grove and Strawn, Flinders Island and Bushy Park both 26, Friendly Beaches 25, King Island 24, Maria Island and St Helens 23, Lyowini 22 degrees. Patchy high-level cloud was seen over Tasmania today with scattered thunderstorms about the north. The satellite shows thunderstorm activity across many parts of the eastern and central states. Tomorrow, a high will pass the Bight, ridging over Tasmania and the remainder of the southern coast of the mainland. South to southeasterly winds 15 to 25 knots, increasing to 30 knots in parts of the far northwest, the northeast, with southwesterly swells building to 2.5 metres. A severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for heavy rainfall this evening for parts of the northeast, northwest coast, central north, central plateau and the mainland forecast districts. A strong wind warning is also in place between Sandy Cape to Stanley. And also for coastal waters between east of Flinders Island to Wineglass Bay, to include Bank Strait and Franklin Sound. Cloudy towards the south tomorrow, Hobart 20, 21 for Cygnet, New Norfolk 23. A sunny day expected for Launceston 26 with late showers, partly cloudy for both Devonport and Campbelltown 24. Possible late showers on the way for Burnie 22, cloud clearing in Strawn 23, a shower or 2 and 24 for Smithton. Partly cloudy in St Helens 21, 20 and cloudy in Swansea, possible showers for Fingal 21's the top. Forecast for Friday, fine apart from isolated showers about the north. Saturday, fine with light winds and an afternoon sea breeze about coastal areas. Sunday, fine apart from showers developing about the northeast and extending to the rest of the north in the evening. A quick look now at the nation's forecast tomorrow. 32 and sunny in Perth, sunny also in Broome 34, showers and storms for Darwin and Canberra, cloudy and 24 on the way for Melbourne. And right now in Hobart, it's cloudy with 18 degrees. Those thunderstorms have arrived in Launceston 23, light rain in Devonport with 20. For those in the north this evening, please take care on our roads with those severe thunderstorm warnings. Michael?
Yeah, good point, Kai. Please heed the warnings of police. That is all your news for now. Thanks for joining us. Have a great evening. Good night.